Welcome to the 2024 St. Paul String Quartet Competition virtual interviews. My name is Ray Shows. I'm first violin of the Artaria String Quartet and founder and administrator of America's only competitive contest exclusively for string quartets. Today, I have the privilege of introducing the VARIO Quartet from Illinois. And I hope everyone is doing well.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Good. Please tell our audience your names, the instrument you play, and where you go to school. Who would like to go first?
I can go first. I'm Momo Fredrickson. I play violin, and I go to the Wisconsin Virtual Academy.
Okay. My name is Mira Pushkevich. I play cello in our quartet, and I go to Lake Zurich High School.
Hi, I'm Akshay Nair. I play viola, and I'm a senior at Adelaide Eastern High School.
And my name is Kai Werlinski. I play violin, and I'm a senior at Lyons Township High School.
Fantastic. Those schools are all lucky to have you there. That's great. Okay, so how did each of you get introduced and interested in chamber music? Why don't we start with the cello?
Definitely, because I've been at MWA like all 4 years, and definitely I was very interested in like the chamber music program. I actually played with Akshay like all 4 years. He was like in my quartet, so we know each other very well. And that first quartet was just so much fun, and I loved like the blend of all like the different stringed instruments so much, and like putting it all together, and like having 4 separate ideas all come together. So that's what really made me love it, and I just wanted to build on that experience over the next 4 years, and here we are at St. Paul.
Akshay, if I'm saying your name correctly, why don't you go next?
That's correct. So similar to Mira, I just really like the intimacy that you can get in chamber music. It's a lot more close together. You can feel the music a lot more personally when you play chamber compared to orchestra, or even solo. When you work with a group like this close with each other, it's a new type of feeling, and I feel like you can create new different waves and different colors, timbres, just with the 4 people, including me, in this group. I just like that more personal feeling that you get, and the music is also really fun for chamber music. Of course, it's almost like a little solo at times, especially as a viola. You know, sometimes that repertoire doesn't come out in orchestral works, but in chamber it's really nice to hear that blend.
Kai.
Yeah, so honestly, Akshay summed it up really well. I got introduced to chamber music because I did the MYA like chamber music summer camp before I joined MYA, and I thought that was really, really fun, so I just kept doing it after that.
Okay, and then Cordelia.
Like Kai, I was introduced to chamber music by MYA. I started at the MYA Summer Music Festival, and I really loved it. I learned so many new things about music, and even a lot of things that can apply to solo repertoire, and I really loved it. And I don't know, I've always kept at it since then.
Do you guys think you learned a lot about not just music, but about people?
Oh,
Yes,
100%.
definitely.
That was a trick question for me. Sorry. So does this help your orchestra playing too? Is that an obvious?
Oh, for sure.
Yes,
100%.
definitely.
Oh, that's super. That's super. I'm sure that the directors want to hear that, especially because they put so much effort in supporting, you know, MYA puts a lot of effort in supporting to what you guys are doing with your chamber music. And I really love that. Okay, so how did the 4 of you coalesce into a string quartet? How did it come to be that you became the VARIO String Quartet?
I think we were just put together at the very beginning. Like we didn't necessarily choose who we wanted to play with for that.
Okay, so it was obviously the administration, how it runs. It wasn't like the 4 of you requested or anything like that. They just thought.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I didn't talk to anybody until this year in this group. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so what is the origin of your name? How did it come about?
Yeah, so I actually came up with the name. We were thinking together, we were brainstorming, and I was like, you know what? obviously you can tell we're all very different people. There's a lot of variety among us, and I'm like, okay, what's a pretty way to say that? And I found the Italian word for it, and it means vario, means like variation, diversity. So I feel like that's a great representation of who we are as a group, and what we bring to the table is each of our different variations and our diversity. So the name just embodies that feeling that we try and portray through our music as well.
Oh, that's a great message. I wish I had looked the word up. I didn't even think to do it before. I kind of like to be surprised. And since I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, I am always surprised. You would think there would be a duplication in 20 years. No, people really come up with unique names. You guys happen to be a creative sort, and that's where you're similar. There's diversity visually when I look at you, but I think people-wise, you guys are actually quite similar. I mean, you guys, maybe not in personality, but in the way you're interacting right here, and that bodes well for your quartet playing because you have to coalesce. At some point, you have to bring all the different backgrounds to a unified picture. So, how did you guys come to your repertoire?
That's so for the Haydn that we picked, Mira, Akshay, and I had played it in past years. So we just decided, oh, it'll be the easiest to put together since only one of us hadn't played it before. That's how we chose the Haydn.
But I think Debussy.
Debussy was assigned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was-
Debussy was the piece that Dr. D assigned us for the beginning of the year, and then the Ginastera, our chamber coach, Mr. Murphy, picked for us because he thought it would, incorporate the way we play really well.
Like with all of our strengths and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
That's really cool, actually. And that's going to lead into my next question here. So, how would you describe your quartet's unique rehearsal style?
Rehearsal
Oh.
style.
That's interesting.
I would say it's a very constant, like all of us like to get into the theory of things. So if we're talking about like, not like music theory, but if we're talking about what to bring out, then we get really deep into that conversation. And it's honestly a constant cycle of getting into that and then being like, oh wait, guys, we should like just play and see how it works. That's
Yeah.
There's a lot of discussion about bowings and character and whatnot.
Yeah.
There's definitely in the Ginastera, there's a lot about like lining up, making sure that like you're not being too late and whatnot. And then sometimes we go on little tangents, or like when we have to take breaks. Obviously after playing for longer periods of time, especially during winter break, like we all came together at least tried to, because Momo, she lives in Wisconsin, so we had to do like Zoom rehearsals as like much as possible. Exactly. Yeah. Wow. And so like we had like different ways of like trying to bond. Also like if we needed a break or we needed like dinner like during our rehearsal time, we would go to like the McDonald's here by Amway, and like we would just learn about each other, just talk about certain things, and then go straight to work. And it's a lot of like experimenting, and
we're very social. We're a very social group.
Within our rehearsals, though, we usually take like a step-by-step approach, go problem by problem. So if it's intonation, we work on playing together and getting note by note really slow. If it's rhythm, we drop the metronome, of course. All of our least favorite part, the metronome.
Yes.
But it's super important. And then also just stylistically, like Mira said, bowing and all of that. And our coach actually has given us a visualization that all of our practices always revolve around. We
imagine like a pink pencil.
We have a pencil that we have here, and so in the middle of the quartet, we'll always have the pencil. Play towards the pencil. That's always what our quartet revolves around.
Yeah.
So that's basically what we base our rehearsals around.
This sounds great. So you have a system, but you understand the need to talk with each other. But then there becomes a moment when you all say, "Okay, let's get back to focusing on this, this, and this." But you don't get stuck in the grind of a bowing rehearsal or disagreeing on tempos and stuff like that, which all quartets struggle with. That is the end of my formal questions. I just wonder, is there any one or a couple more ideas you want to share with the audience so they get to know you a little better as they're going to watch this, likely before you start playing?
I guess that like we all come from like different backgrounds, different places. like I'm Polish and whatnot. And like we all come from different high schools, different experiences. Again, like Mom was from Wisconsin. I think we're all just like trying to bring our like quartet together as much as
Yeah.
possible, our experiences, like
That
just
sounds
just
like a-
have fun with it, you know.
Yeah. I think Vario applies really well, and the audience should definitely know that that's one of our main characteristics.
Yes, for sure.
And like all quartets, we squabble at times, but that doesn't really take away from our playing together. I think we put aside any differences we have just to create the music at the end of the day, and that's what we're all here for and what we enjoy. So that's just our passion, I believe, and that's why we're doing this competition, of course.
And we all have a lot of motivation.
Yeah.
So much
Yeah.
motivation.
We're all very motivated.